In a vibrant, imaginative town called Saukville, something extraordinary happened every year. It was an event that filled the town with laughter, creativity, and a touch of silliness. It was the Silly Sock Safari. Saukville was a place where the residents had a special appreciation for socks. Socks were not just clothing, they were works of art, expressions of personality, and a source of endless fun. The Silly Sock Safari was the highlight of the year, where everyone would wear their wackiest, quirkiest socks and embark on a whimsical adventure. The day of the Silly Sock Safari began with a grand parade down Saukville's main street. The townspeople wore socks with polka dots, stripes, animal prints, and even socks that looked like tiny rainbows. The laughter of children and the cheerful music of the sock band filled the air as they marched, showcasing their unique sock creations. Leading the parade was Sammy, the town's most imaginative sock designer. Sammy's socks were renowned for their silliness, featuring sock-eating monsters, sock-shaped hot air balloons, and even socks that told jokes when you wiggled your toes. As the parade ended, Sammy announced the theme for this year's Silly Sock Safari, an expedition into the mystical Socktopia jungle. The townspeople cheered with excitement and donned their safari hats and binoculars, ready for the adventure. The journey into Socktopia jungle was filled with quirky challenges and playful encounters. They had to cross the River of Giggles by hopping on lily pad socks, swing on vine socks through the ticklish treetops, and solve riddles from the mischievous Socktopus. Along the way, they met sock-shaped animals like the zebra sockster and the sockadile, which had socks for teeth but a friendly disposition. They also discovered hidden sock treasures like the Socktopia crystal, which twinkled like a disco ball when the sun's rays hit it. As they delved deeper into the jungle, they encountered the Socktopia tribe, a group of friendly sock puppets who loved to dance and sing. Together, they had a sock puppet dance-off that left everyone in fits of laughter. At the heart of the Socktopia jungle, they reached the Great Sock Waterfalls, a magnificent waterfall made entirely of colorful sock ribbons. It was a sight to behold, and they couldn't resist taking a refreshing dip in the sock water. Finally, after a day filled with laughter, adventure, and silliness, the townspeople gathered around a giant sock campfire to share stories and toast marshmallows. They marveled at the creativity of their fellow civilians and felt a deep sense of togetherness. As the stars lit up the night sky, Sammy revealed the Silly Sock Safari's most coveted prize, a golden sock trophy. But instead of awarding it to a single participant, he declared that everyone in Saukville was a winner for embracing their creativity and celebrating the joy of silliness. The night ended with a joyful sock dance under the moon, where socks of all shapes and sizes twisted and twirled in perfect harmony. It was a night to remember, a celebration of imagination, and a reminder that the silliest adventures were often the most magical. And so, in the whimsical town of Saukville, the Silly Sock Safari became a cherished tradition, a day when socks transformed into expressions of personality and the spirit of fun filled the air. It was a reminder to all that creativity and silliness were gifts to be celebrated and shared with the world. But the laughter and creativity of Saukville's Silly Sock Safari lived on, bringing joy and imagination to the hearts of all who took part in the annual Socktastic adventure. As the years passed, the Silly Sock Safari in Saukville continued to grow in popularity. People from neighboring towns and cities traveled to Saukville to witness the whimsical event for themselves. The fame of Saukville's annual celebration spread far and wide, and it even caught the attention of a renowned sock fashion designer named Stella. Stella was known for her stylish and extravagant sock designs. She had won countless awards for her creations, and her sock fashion shows were attended by fashionistas from around the world. However, she had never experienced the pure joy and silliness of the silly sock safari. One year, Stella decided to visit Sockville incognito, wearing an oversized hat and sunglasses to conceal her identity. She wanted to witness the safari for herself and, perhaps, find inspiration for her next sock collection. As Stella watched the parade of colorful, wacky socks marching down Sockville's main street, she couldn't help but smile. The creativity and imagination on display were unlike anything she had ever seen in the fashion world. Stella was especially captivated by Sammy's latest creation, a pair of socks that lit up like a disco ball with every step. When the time came for the expedition into the Socktopia jungle, Stella joined the crowd of adventurers. She wore a pair of socks adorned with miniature sock-shaped buttons, which she had designed herself. Throughout the journey, Stella was amazed by the sense of camaraderie and the pure joy that radiated from the townspeople. She had expected to find inspiration for her sock collection, but what she found was even more valuable, a newfound appreciation for the simple joy of silliness and creativity. At the heart of the Socktopia jungle, Stella joined in the sock puppet dance-off and laughed with the townspeople as they danced and sang together. She realized that true happiness could be found in the playful moments, the shared laughter, and the freedom to embrace one's unique quirks. When the safari came to an end, Stella approached Sammy and revealed her true identity as a sock fashion designer. She confessed that she had come to Sockville seeking inspiration, but what she had found was something far more precious, the spirit of silliness and togetherness. Sammy, with a mischievous grin, suggested that Stella create a special line of socks inspired by the silly sock safari. Stella eagerly accepted the challenge and worked closely with the people of Sockville to design a collection that captured the essence of their beloved event. The following year, Stella unveiled her Safari Socks collection, featuring vibrant, playful designs that celebrated the joy of silliness. The collection became a sensation in the fashion world, and people everywhere embraced the spirit of the silly sock safari. And so, in Sockville and beyond, the silly sock safari continued to be a cherished tradition, a day when people of all ages could let loose, express their creativity, and celebrate the beauty of being a little bit silly. It was a reminder that happiness could be found in the most unexpected places, and that the joy of silliness was a treasure worth sharing with the world. But the spirit of the silly sock safari lived on, inspiring people to embrace their quirks, celebrate their creativity, and find happiness in the playful moments of life. In the years that followed, the silly sock safari in Sockville became not just a local tradition, but a worldwide phenomenon. People from all corners of the globe came to experience the joy, laughter, and creativity of the annual event. The news of Sockville's silly sock safari even reached the farthest corners of the earth, where a group of penguins in Antarctica decided they wanted to join in the fun. They had heard about the safari from a friendly seagull who had visited Sockville and shared tales of colorful socks and playful adventures. The penguins, who were known for their love of waddling and sliding on the icy slopes, decided to create their own version of the safari, the silly sock slide. They gathered the most colorful and mismatched socks they could find and fashioned them into sliding tracks on the icy hills of Antarctica. With great enthusiasm, the penguins donned their quirky socks and started sliding down the slopes, laughing and giggling all the way. Some wore socks with penguin patterns, while others sported socks with funny faces and bright colors. Word quickly spread among the penguin colonies, and soon, penguins from all across Antarctica joined in the silly sock slide. It became an annual event filled with laughter, camaraderie, and the spirit of silliness. Back in Sockville, the townspeople heard about the silly sock slide in Antarctica and were delighted to learn that their celebration of creativity and silliness had inspired penguins on the other side of the world. One summer, Sammy, the imaginative sock designer, had a brilliant idea. He decided to organize a special exchange program between Sockville and Antarctica. Sammy and a group of Sockville residents, all wearing their wacky socks, boarded a colorful hot air balloon and set off on a journey to meet the penguins. When they arrived in Antarctica, they were welcomed with open flippers by the penguins, who were thrilled to host their new friends from Sockville. The penguins proudly showed off their silly sock slide tracks and even helped their guests choose the quirkiest socks to wear for the occasion. The day was filled with laughter as the Sockville residents and penguins slid down the icy slopes together, celebrating the joy of silliness and creativity. They shared stories, danced to the rhythm of the icy winds, and exchanged handmade sock gifts as tokens of their newfound friendship. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the Antarctic sky with shades of pink and orange, Sammy and the Sockville residents bid farewell to their penguin friends. They returned to Sockville with hearts full of gratitude for the opportunity to spread the spirit of silliness to the farthest corners of the earth. And so, in Sockville and Antarctica, the Silly Sock Safari and Silly Sock Slide continue to be cherished traditions, reminding people and penguins alike that the world was a place where laughter, creativity, and the joy of being a little bit silly could bring hearts together, no matter how far apart they were. The end. But the laughter and camaraderie of Sockville's Silly Sock Safari and Antarctica's Silly Sock Slide lived on, a testament to the universal language of silliness and the bonds of friendship that transcended borders and icy horizons.